sugar, 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 spice, 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 and everything nice.
Hi guys! Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Are You Allies? So today is going to be just me talking about some ways that I like to help myself to get out of a writing slump. Lately I've actually been in a writing slump. I've just recently got back from spring break and I was trying to get in the groove. I was trying to get back into like my writing routine, and then even before spring break I realized that I wouldn't be able to finish the first draft in March, which is one of like my big goals that I set for myself. And even before that I wasn't like making this, I was making small goals, but I really was focused on that big goal. And it's March 31st and the first draft still is not finished, so that hit hard. And then I got back from spring break and I entered like a little like poem type of thing, and poetry isn't really my like, it's not really, I like poetry. I like to think that I can write poetry. I like to think that I'm good at it, but it's not like my main thing. My main thing is kind of like writing and storytelling, like when it comes to like books and plots and like manuscripts, stuff like that. That's what I think that's like what I'm into. But like I do like to dabble in poetry every now and again. And prior, like a year before, I had entered my like an entry into this magazine here at my University of Arkansas, Woo Pigs. I entered into the magazine last year, didn't get in. I entered again this year, didn't get in. So I've been feeling like in a writing slump. I've been just not really wanting to, let's say, like just I guess put my best foot forward. Like I know that I have to continue, I know that I need to, but it's just been really hard when you've taken L after L after L. So I thought, why not make this video? It's the perfect time to make it. Why not go ahead and talk to you guys as well about how I get out of writing slumps. These are only what things that I do, but this is also like things that I looked up and see like how it helps people and stuff. So this is gonna be 10 ways to help you get out of a writing slump. Hopefully you don't get into a writing slump, or at least it doesn't happen often. I'd like to think it doesn't happen too often to me, but again, I don't know. It probably happens about a medium amount. I don't know. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into it. So the first thing is called like write the wrong scene. This is something that I looked up. This is something that I found. I've never done this for myself, but I have seen a lot of people do this. It's basically skipping ahead to a scene that it's technically the wrong scene because it's not in chronological order as you're writing it, but you want to write it, and that's going to help you kind of get your writing momentum back. So you might skip ahead to like a love scene or a fight scene or a confession scene, something that's like high emotion or something that's just that you're really excited to write about. A lot of times I've never done this before, but I do catch myself getting like a quick idea about a scene, jotting like the beats of that scene down, and then going back to it. I don't write the whole scene, but maybe I will give this a try because I've watched other author YouTubers and they always do this, and I'm honestly like scared to do this because I'm all about going in order and getting. Sometimes I have to have like a good foundation to move forward, and so I feel like this kind of conflicts, you know, goes against that. But honestly, I see so many people do it, and I see so many people love it and enjoy it. I'm like, okay, cool, one day, maybe not in the near future, but like maybe later down the line I will give this a try. But it sounds really cool. It's like a good way to get your momentum back, especially writing something that you like want to write about. Obviously you want to write anyway, obviously whatever book or short cute little novel or like poem or whatever, obviously you want to write it, but sometimes, you know, you just get into a slump and it's hard to get back on that horse. So I feel like when you're writing these cute little, when you write a scene that you really enjoy, then it'll really help you to write that scene and then be like, oh, okay, now I want to go back and write to this and get to that scene. I kind of want to do the build up to that scene, you know. It kind of helps you get back to it. So yeah, I think I will end up doing this sometime in the future because I hear so many people do it and I hear so many people enjoy it. So yeah. So this one is something that I do kind of regularly. It's just setting tiny little goals, like tiny minuscule 200 words. Yes, 200 words. That's very tiny, it's very small, but honestly that's a really good way to stay with consistency too. A lot of times we as writers try to write these huge word counts a day and they're unrealistic, and you might be able to do it for the first 2 days, but it's very easy to get burnt out, and then from your burnt out you get into a writing slump, and then it's hard to come back from that. It's kind of like doing the opposite and doing a very small amount of words, 200, and just getting a few down, maybe 200, 300, getting a few words down, and then going up. Well, I mean, you could go up from there, or you can continue that, because again, consistency is key. I think that consistency matters, is one of the things that matters the most. So yeah, writing like cute little 200 or 250 words down, that can really make a difference, and that can honestly bring out the momentum as well, because you write 200 words and you realize, oh, this scene is really good, I think I can continue it, and then before you know it, you go from 200 to maybe even 2,000. So I think that this is a really good way, and I actually do this a lot, and I didn't even realize it. Like when I found it, I was like, oh, I actually do that a lot. So yeah. Change how you write. This one is a new one. I never, I guess, did this before. I think I'd be kind of like nervous that all my ideas would get too separate. Normally when I have like a Google Doc and I write like that, but I write in Google Docs. A lot of people use a lot of different other, like, I think they use like Scrivener and like all of these other different types of cool websites and apps and things like that. Going forward, if you're trying to get out of that slump, you might want to try to write somewhere else. Like maybe you want to try writing in your notes app, or sometimes you might just want to voice what you need to say. So like voice to text or just voice memos. Sometimes you might need to just get a notebook. I do have a notebook, but I think this is more about, I have a notebook for my ideas and for the concepts in my manuscript, not necessarily for the actual writing of the manuscript. So maybe you can write the actual manuscript in your notes, or maybe a cute little scene about it in your notes, and then you can kind of go from there. But yeah, I think that'd actually be a really cool way. Like I have voice memos as well, where I've just kind of, again, voiced those ideas and those concepts, but not necessarily like written like an actual scene out. And so I think this will also be a cool thing to try. It's kind of like putting your brain in an entirely different type of medium, helping to get those new ideas out. So I think this would actually be a pretty cool thing to try. I think all of these are actually really cool, and I think I'm gonna end up trying everything on this list. So if you want to see me try that, stay tuned or comment down below and tell me what you want to see, and we'll honestly do some of these. Tip number 4 is kind of like a confidence boost. It's kind of like reading one of your favorite parts that you've written. A lot of times it's easy to just look down and be like, oh, this sucks, this is complete BS, I hate it, I don't want to look at it, I don't want to see it, I don't like it. But you do every now and again have those parts where you're like, oh my gosh, this is a really good scene, this is why I like to write, this is what I love about storytelling, all of this. So going back and kind of looking at those scenes really helps to have like a confidence booster, really helps to give a bit of motivation, push you forward, and continue to also like write scenes like that. Honestly, I do that a lot. I didn't even realize that I do this, but I do that a lot. Sometimes I'm just like, let me just like reread this and kind of enjoy that I've written this scene before, and then now I'm like, okay, if I've written this, then I know that I can write something else, equally if not better to that. So yeah. So this one I've seen, again, a few other author YouTubers do this. Author-tubers, I think that's what it's called. I don't know. But it's kind of like a what if scenario. So basically it's kind of putting your characters in different scenarios. Maybe it's something that they would most likely be in, or something completely out of left field. It could be like, oh, they get stuck in a mall, or they have to end up helping out at the animal clinic, or something like that. It's kind of like putting your characters in different situations or in different scenes, just kind of having like a what if. It kind of broadens your ideas and allows a lot more to come in. You're like, oh, I never would have thought to put this character in this situation and how they would react in this situation, or how they would react to each other or react together. So I think that this is a really cool way to kind of get that, not necessarily motivation, but kind of like more back to the momentum thing, like we said before. I feel like a lot of times it takes the pressure off too. It's like a what if, so it's not necessarily gonna happen, it's not necessarily real, but it's kind of like a bit more laid back. It's not super serious, it's not trying to meet a word count, it's just to see what happens. And sometimes you just need to see what happens. So this one is one that I do all the time, and I've actually vlogged me doing these for, I have so many vlogs, I think, at this point. Not so many, because I don't have a lot of videos on this channel anymore, but I have quite a few videos and vlogs of me doing sprints. So using a timer to do sprints. Normally I do sprints for 1 hour, and 1 hour sprints usually helps me just get like a bulk of many words down. But you can also do short sprints. I've never done super short sprints just because I myself is a slow writer. So if I were to do 10 to 15 minute sprints, I probably would not get a lot of words down, and honestly that would probably make me feel bad or something. But I would probably do more 30-minute to an hour sprints. But it's just kind of like sprinting is just writing and no editing, no backtracking, writing down. Sometimes if you write a sprint and there's a fight scene coming up, you just write insert fight scene and you keep going. If you can't think about all the details, you in parentheses come back later and then keep going. And honestly, that's really good if you're trying to get your novel finished. I think it's also good if you're coming out of a slump as well though, because you don't have to think about all of this super meticulous details. You can just kind of go in, do what you need to do, and then keep going. And you can think about those details later. You can come back to it later. You can do all of the thinking and writing and editing later. But for the most part, sprinting, short sprints, is just getting what you want down, getting what you need down, those first ideas, and keep going. So yeah, this one is kind of different. I've actually never, I feel like I've done this, but unintentionally again. This is just like writing dialogue only. It's just kind of like something to just help me push the story forward and get me unstuck, if that makes sense. I think dialogue honestly really helps to push the story forward. It helps to reveal new information without it just kind of being like a big dump of information out of nowhere. I do this unintentionally, but it's not like, I think in this sense you would just skip every description, skip all the descriptions and just go straight to dialogue and write only dialogue. And maybe when you get into the editing phase, you can cut some things out, add some things, add those descriptions if you want. But I think that this is just a really good way to kind of get you unstuck, progress the story, and kind of move you on if you've just been stagnant in like one point in the story for a long time. So yeah, I do this one a lot, switching to brainstorming instead of just drafting. So a lot of times I might not have a strong foundation like I mentioned before. I think that I need to have a really good like background knowledge of things that are like certain and true and things that make sense for me to kind of continue that and build off that. And sometimes it's kind of hard to do those things if you don't have a strong foundation, if those things aren't ready to just be built off of. And so it might be harder to write, it may be harder to continue. And a lot of times when that happens, that's when I pull out my notepad, that's when I pull out my pens, and I get to brainstorming and I get to coming up with ideas that make sense for the story and make sense for things that might happen in the future, and things that in the past affected the now, you know, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. Most of the time, if I'm writing and I'm like, okay, this character is supposed to be like this, and it's like, wait, is this character supposed to be like this because this is what happened in her past and this is what's supposed to happen in our future. And so sometimes I have to take a pause and go to my notebook, write that out, and then write out those details, write out that background information, and kind of build off that. And this is especially happens when I'm doing like magic systems. For any of you guys that watch my vlogs, you know that I'm doing a young adult fantasy fiction novel, Project CR. It's, you know, part of a long, like, many vlogs I've done, like many vlogs on this, and it's like it's magic system, and sometimes your magic system can be very too strict or too wonky, and there's kind of like a gray area that you have to walk. So most of the time I have to pause and go back to why this magic makes sense and why this one doesn't. And honestly, sometimes it might feel as if you're still getting nowhere, but I promise you, having that foundation really helps to amplify your next writing session, helps you really get those ideas down, get those scenes down, and continue forward through your next writing session. And you're honestly gonna thank yourself if you just really get that outline down, especially like plot twists too, because I have a few plot twists that I need to happen, and I'm like, I need to make sure that this plot twist makes sense because I don't need this to not be linearly lined up with the rest of what needs to happen. So yeah, sometimes it's okay to just take a break from drafting and do only brainstorming. So yeah, this one I also do a lot, and I like to just change your environment. These 4 walls, they're super cute. They have pretty flowers and leaves and lights and all of the cuteness decorations on them, but they can get boring and they can make you feel congested. And so, wait, congested? Is that the right word? They can suffocate you, make you feel claustrophobic. So sometimes I like to go to the library, sometimes I like to go to like the on-campus like union, sometimes I like to go outside, sometimes I like to write at work. It's just changing of scenery can really help bring those ideas out of you. And a lot of times I do write very well in my bed, I do write very well at this desk, but sometimes you just need a change of scenery. Sometimes I even written like on my bathroom floor for whatever reason, and I've had really good sessions doing that. And so like it's like little things like that that can really just bring you out of a slump. And like you'll honestly be surprised about some of the like best places to write, and you're like, I don't know, like you're on your kitchen floor under the table or something, and it's like all the ideas are just flowing, and that's how it works. But yeah, this is a good change of scenery, never hurts. And number 10, and it might even just be the most important thing and most important tip or way to help you get out of your writing slump, and that's just remembering why you started writing in the first place. During the slump that I've been in, I've cried a lot. I've cried about missing goals. I've cried about, being rejected. I cried about just a lot of stuff. But the thing that's like really keeping me going is to remember why I like writing, why I enjoy it, why I like reading other books, and why I wanted to make my own. And so doing that really kind of made me forced me to push all of that negativity to the side and really just continue. And sometimes that can honestly be a boost of momentum in itself. Sometimes you just have to remember like why the ending is exciting, why you value the book, why you value the message, all of it. So honestly, just remembering why you started is the best way to finish. Anyway, these are 10 cute little tips to help you get out of a writing slump. Some of these were mine, some of these were things I found online. Feel free to comment whichever ones you want to see me do, or comment whichever ones that you enjoy doing. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye. And if you stay to the end of the video, drop a white cute little heart in the description, and then, well, not the description, the comment section, and I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.